According to 2014 New Jersey Police employee data and the National Fire Protection Agency report, only 7% of female firefighters are being hired, and there are 3,799 female police officers out of 36,000 police officers in New Jersey. I spoke with two women whose careers have challenged these stereotypical barriers and who demonstrated to never give up in the face of adversity.
When I was new, graduated from the fire academy, I had no problems there. Everyone was treated really equal. But being the first woman in my fire department, it was like a lot of tests. I had to prove myself. I remember my first day working. We went to a choir structure, that's where we trained, and the captain wanted me to learn to make sure I knew how he wanted me to put out fires. So we would simulate it. So I had the hose, and the guy who was, or firefighter that was in charge of the hose, put the pressure almost double of what it should have been, and I flew against the wall. Everyone got yelled at, and it was basically, if she can't handle that, then she shouldn't be here.
When I was the first woman in the department, people didn't know what to expect. I think even the public was a little unsure if a woman could possibly handle the job. I mean, I went to calls where they looked around. I called the police, where are they? And back then, I know it sounds silly now, people weren't expecting a woman to show up at their door. And could I do the job properly?
When I was younger, I don't think I honestly thought about firefighting. My father was a firefighter. He wanted me to become a doctor. So I was going to college to become a doctor. My father passed away when I was a senior in high school, and I still wanted to continue what he wanted me to do. I went to school for a year away, and I decided I didn't want to go away. I wanted to come back home, and I enrolled in community college, and I started EMT courses. I got a job as an EMT, and I continued college, and I worked closely with firefighters there and police, and I decided the next civil service exam I was going to take for firefighting. So that's what I did, and that was in 2006. And I got hired as a firefighter in 2010.
My grandfather was a New York City police officer. He was a transit officer. Came over from Ireland, and he was one of the first people working for the transit in the railroad. And he died when I was 1, so I didn't know much about him. I just had pictures of him. I don't know what it was, but it's just, I wanted to follow in his footsteps and have a job where I could experience something different every day.
Sometimes I felt like I should do something else besides firefighting. I have dabbled in other professions, and I always come back to firefighting as my passion, is what I love. That's not to say that later on in life I would want to do something else, but I always come back to it, and I have fun, and it's just unexplainable how it makes me feel.
I like to ask the people on patrol. Those are the people that are knocking on the doors and going to the motor vehicle accidents, and they work in the rain, the sleet, the snow, the midnights. They have a voice. It's just that we all are a family in this department.
I felt zero acceptance, maybe 1. It was basically, you're here because no one else wanted you. That's what I was told my first day, where I was assigned. I knew it was going to be a long time and a struggle to prove to everyone that I deserved to be here just as much as anyone else. So I just continued to do what I had to do. I kept learning, kept asking questions, making sure I knew what I was doing, because I know if I was proficient in what I was doing and I earned their trust, then we will all get together fine.
I think today it's so much more welcomed. Not that it wasn't welcomed in the past, it's just there's so many female police officers now. I think anybody that wants to go into the profession. Are you going to have tough days? Yes, you are. Are you going to do things that maybe another job wouldn't require you to do? Yes, but if it's something you want to do, there's no limits. You just do it.
I think it is important to show younger females not to be intimidated by a male-dominated career. I don't know if as a culture we are raised to be biased as it come to us, but most definitely we need, as women, not to listen to those biases. And if you have or you want to pursue a career, do it no matter what it is. Because if we don't do it, who else will?
In 2018, females are now on the rise. There are women like Angelina Tirado and Eileen Tiernan that we look up to. Just imagine being at the same level as them. Women, keep your head up and do what you prosper. Never be afraid. If they can do it, you can do it too.